They are some of the most familiar lines in American literature. What do my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer with a little old driver so lively and quick? I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. And so we all thought we knew how Santa Claus arrives each Christmas. But as Charles Kuralt learned on the road in New England, Santa's flight takes many forms, always toward the light.
This is a story about light and about tradition. It begins in 1927 when a pilot, lost in bad weather off the coast of Maine, spotted the faint gleam of a lighthouse, turned toward the light, and taking his bearings from lighthouse to lighthouse, was saved. In gratitude, that Christmas, and on Christmases that followed, Captain Bill Winkapaw flew over each of those lighthouses and dropped off a bundle of gifts for the station keepers and their families. In 1936, New England author and historian Edward Rose Snow took up the tradition and flew the Santa Claus flight to the lighthouses in good weather and bad for 44 years, taking his wife and daughter along to help him with the well-padded packages of toys and books and candy that he dropped at the isolated lighthouses. His daughter, Dorothy, will never forget the thrill.
You know, it would just be very windy and noisy, and you'd go along and you'd see him go right out the window like that, and then again, and then he'd say, "They got it, they got it!" And he'd be so excited. And my mother would say, "Now, Edward, don't lose your hat, come back in here."
Thank you for the things you sent down. I wish I could have seen the package fall.
Anna Merle Snow has kept all the letters from Halfway Rock and Monhegan, Cuttyhunk and Nantucket, from children in lonely places.
I saw you drop the package over Eastern Point Light, and I was the one who got it. I bet you make a lot of children happy. I am 14, and even I enjoyed it.
Mrs. Snow remembers watching the young bride of the lightkeeper at remote Gurnet Light off Plymouth.
She was out there, and it was her first year married, and she was so lonesome. And when she saw the plane coming, she ran out, and she danced up and down, and then when the package landed, you could see her feet going. She was running as fast as she could to get it, and she held it up way over her head, and you could just feel the joy that she had at that lighthouse. It really was very nice. And it made us feel good, too, you know.
What the Snows remembered all those years, and what other people, safe in cities, forgot, was that there were people out there on those islands and headlands, Coast Guardsmen and their families, alone most of the year, and alone at Christmas. Edward Rose Snow died in 1982, but the Santa flight was too splendid a thing to die. And that is why this year, Santa came again to the lighthouses of New England, under the sponsorship of the Hull Life-Saving Museum now, and again the shouts of wild anticipation, and again the little family groups waiting on the ground for the one exciting event of winter, and the familiar figure waving from the sky. And again this year, a long way from any playmates, little children wrestling with big packages in the snow. The Santa flight started as an act of gratitude 58 Christmases ago. Nobody had to do this at first. By now, George Morgan, a Santa whose white beard is his own, finds he does have to every December.
Merry Christmas. Did you expect to see Santa Claus come up to visit you?
So an old tradition of warmth and gratitude was carried out this week in cold and stony places. Of course, it's a tradition that acts out the Christmas story of strangers carrying gifts great distances toward a light that pierces the darkness. Charles Kuralt, CBS News, on the road in New England.
And that's the CBS Evening News for this Friday before Christmas. Dan Rather reporting from New York. We'll see you here again Monday. Good night.